जनसंख्या की एक समग्र नीति बने, वो सब पर समान रूप से लागू हो, एक बार बनने के बाद किसी को छूट न मिले और समाज इसको स्वीकार कर ले, इसलिए उसके लिए मन बनाकर उसको लाया जाए, इसकी आवश्यकता है।
Debating tonight at 9 p.m. Mission superpower is the ultimate goal. There's no stopping the India story. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Until the women of Iran are free, we are going to stand with you. Jian, Jian, Azadi, women, life, freedom.
Waiting tonight, 10 p.m. The world supermarket. World is ours for the taking. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
From the Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Arnab Goswami on the debate at 9. Presented by Amity University. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group and Century Ply.
Good evening and welcome, viewers. Should the need and the demand for a comprehensive population policy in India be dismissed just because it has come from the RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat during his Dashera speech this morning in Nagpur? Are forced conversions okay? Are forced conversions okay just because the RSS chief in his speeches warned about the societal and demographic implications of infiltration from across the border, ladies and gentlemen? And is Mohan Bhagwat wrong? Is Mohan Bhagwat really wrong or spot on when he cites the examples of what happened in South Sudan and Kosovo? Ladies and gentlemen, and dear viewers of the debate, uncomfortable questions must both be asked and answered. The population question is primary among them. Debates on demographic balance and societal pressures and conflict cannot be sidestepped, saying they are too politically uncomfortable to handle. Viewers, I know this is a hot subject, and many news channels would be avoiding the debate on Bhagwat's comments precisely for that reason. But I think we need to address the questions that he has raised head on, not avoid them. So viewers, let's debate. That's debate number 1 tonight. The population question. A population policy. The threat of demographic imbalance. What do we mean by all that? Debate number 2 tonight. Is it liberal to stay silent on the anti-hijab stir which has gone global? from Mumbai to across international borders. It's an anti-hijab movement that's totally unstoppable. And debate number 3 tonight. TRS becomes BRS, but can the BRS fight the BJP? That's debate number 3. And here are the headlines this Wednesday evening on the debate tonight.
जनसंख्या में प्रमाण का भी संतुलन चाहिए और इसलिए जनसंख्या की एक समग्र नीति बने, वो सब पर समान रूप से लागू हो.
RSS chief warns of population imbalance in India, says it can lead to changes in geographical boundaries. RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat raises a strong demand for a comprehensive population policy which will be acceptable to all Indians.
GN, GM, Azadi, women, life, freedom.
Women won't back down from Iran to Europe. The anti-hijab revolution has gone absolutely global.
No man's
And an Iranian artist fights alone in Mumbai against hijab, exposes the hypocrisy of Bollywood, which refused to join her. KCR launches his own national party, plans Karnataka election with Kumaraswamy as his first ally.
मैं पाकिस्तान से बात करना नहीं चाहता. मेरे बारामूला के गुर्जर पहाड़ी और बकरवाल भाई हो गए मुझे बात करना.
And the Home Minister hints at a definite timeline for the Kashmir elections, snubs the Gupkar demand for Pakistan talks. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 1.4 billion Indians on 2.5% of global land. We are bursting at the seams already. The need of the hour is to control our population. And only then can we become a true superpower. So I think it's a welcome step when the RSS chief in his annual Vijayadashami rally chose to demand a comprehensive and immediate population control policy. Yes, people like OSC cannot look beyond the prism of politics, but so what? This is about the well-being of the nation, not about a party, an ideology, or a religion. Ladies and gentlemen, hashtag population policy now. Let's debate.
During his annual Vijayadashmi speech at the RSS headquarters in Nagpur, the RSS chief sought a population policy.
जनसंख्या की एक समग्र नीति बने, वो सब पर समान रूप से लागू हो. एक बार बनने के बाद किसी को छूट न मिले और समाज इसको स्वीकार कर ले, इसलिए उसके लिए मन बनाकर उसको लाया जाए, इसकी आवश्यकता है.
And the demand is valid. After all, this viral video encapsulates the population problem. Watch how a man carried 6 people on his bike. The fact is, population explosion is a reality. But some are still trying to politicize a pressing social debate.
ठीक है, अगर पॉपुलेशन की उन्होंने बात की है वो भी एक मुद्दा है, लेकिन अहम मुद्दे तो ये हैं, इसके ऊपर कोई बात ही नहीं करना. मैं अपील करूंगा सरकार से कि इसके ऊपर भी बात करें, इसके ऊपर भी पॉलिसी फ्रेम को जरूर करें.
1970 की दशक में अंतर्राष्ट्रीय पैमाने पर एक सही स्लोगन दिया गया, डेवलपमेंट इज द बेस्ट कॉन्ट्रासेप्टिव. आज भी जो आबादी की संख्या की अगर कोई चिंता व्यक्त कर रहे हैं, उनको पहले ये सोचना चाहिए कि कोई भी परिवार आज क्यों मजबूरी में बच्चे पैदा कर रहे हैं.
The AIMIM chief says there is no need for population control.
देश को पॉपुलेशन कंट्रोल से ज्यादा पॉपुलेशन को स्ट्रेंथन करने की जरूरत है. कैसे? ये जो डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड भारत के पास है, जो एक्सपर्ट्स कहते हैं कि 2030 या 2050 तक रहेगा, यानी वर्किंग पॉपुलेशन जो भारत के पास है वो विश्व में किसी देश के पास नहीं है. आप उनको रोजगार नहीं देते, अगर उस डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड को मोदी और योगी इस्तेमाल करेंगे तो भारत चीन से ज्यादा ताकतवर बनेगा।
The population spike is a burden India cannot handle. There will be a water crisis, a land crisis, a food crisis, and a job crisis if the population crisis is not addressed right away.
एक विषय है जिसको मैं आज लाल किले से स्पर्श करना चाहता हूं और वो विषय है हमारे यहां बेतहासा जो जनसंख्या विस्फोट हो रहा है। ये जनसंख्या विस्फोट हमारे लिए, हमारी आने वाली पीढ़ी के लिए अनेक नए संकट पैदा करता है।
Population control is not an option, it's a necessity. Let's debate.
Waris Pathan and Asif Bhamla of the BJP will open the debate. Waris Pathan, is population control required or not? Is a population policy required or not?
Well, first and foremost, Mohan Bhagwat is not the Prime Minister of the country, he is not the elected member from the people. Earlier he said the DNA of Hindus and Muslims is the same.
No, is the population policy required or not?
How does it
we are going to be 1.7 billion, maybe you want us to be 2 billion.
Gone down.
Is a population policy required or not? That's all.
No, allow me to make my point. Their Rajya Sabha MP has filed a private member's bill in 2019 for population control. No, if the private member bill is introduced by the Rajya Sabha MP Rakesh Sinha in 2019, and when Mansukh Mandavia, the minister, stood up on the Rajya Sabha floor and he said that there is no need for this population control bill, as if we have stabilized the population. In the Supreme Court, one matter was pending, wherein the government
that
of
does
the
not
day
mean
filed an affidavit saying that we don't require population control.
Okay, that does not mean, however, that the issue cannot be addressed.
Then talk about the demographic dividend.
Okay, one minute.
Talk about a demographic dividend.
One minute.
Let them
okay, don't expend all your points in the beginning. Asif Bhamla, is the government committed to this? Because what he's trying to say is that there is no political commitment to a population, a population control bill. He's saying the government is not committed to it.
Let me on the Vijayadashmi day firstly congratulate you all and open with a statement as an Indian Muslim that I'm proud of our Honorable PM who have established the statement that for Muslims, if we are speaking about, कि एक हाथ में कुरान हो और दूसरे हाथ में computer हो. Now this is not the subject relevant. I'm coming back to what the statements with Mohan Bhagwat has been referred. Now there were many stages and many statements, and I don't understand why this particular statement is being highlighted or going out of proportion. He has spoken about women empowerment and the need, to treat women with.
No, is the RSS chief trying to suggest, Asif?
No.
I'll cut the chase. 1 minute. Just 1 minute. We are now going to come to a sensitive issue. So everybody speaks sensitively.
The issue of the minorities, which has been highlighted, and I want to submit that the minorities, the minorities whom we are talking about, you see the need of them. You see the so-called people who have been using these minorities as their vote banks and have been fear-mongering and scaring the minorities that the BJP or the Hindu positioning is going to affect the Muslim is somewhere misusing that, and that's been misused by them over the years. But now there is a time for them to realize what's good for them in the larger interest. You talk about illiteracy, you talk about the admissions to school, you talk about unemployment. हमें सिर्फ अपनी संख्या बढ़ाकर उन लोगों को बेरोजगार नहीं करते. That's why there is a need for a comprehensive population policy, and that is something which has been. You see,
I get your point, but I have a very. Can I come to the core issue?
Please.
And I need your patience to understand what I'm trying to say here. And Fuad is on the debate, but Fuad, I'll ask a follow-up to Asif and maybe Jerome and to Deshratan Nigam before I bring you into the debate. Is the RSS chief suggesting that if the population of Muslims goes up as a proportion or a percentage of the population of India, then the country's population becomes unstable, that the demography becomes unstable? You see, it's very clear. I am not going to beat around the bush. Is he saying that if the Muslim population in India goes up, then there is a demographic imbalance? By which then you have to tell me, Asif, that if the Hindu population goes up, are you saying there is a demographic balance? Why should an increased percentage of Indian Muslims in India make India's demography imbalanced? Because he gave the example.
You see, the whole focus and narrative has been shifted to a different level, Arnab.
Just what? Fuad, let him complete. I'll come to you after that. Yeah. Fuad, let him complete. I'll come to you after that. Yeah.
He has already mentioned two aspects to this. He has even expressed the need of the population, the positive side. He has expressed that the need that India has got 57 crore young population. Why are we talking that?
One minute.
He has very categorically utilized both sides. He has categorically utilized both sides.
I'm not taking a pro or anti position. But let me tell you what he has said.
The benefit of having a younger and overpopulated populated setup, which cannot be a
No, I'm not. I'm only asking a question. I want to know. I am simply asking here that can Deshratan Nigam tell me, and then I'll come to Fuad, that if there are more Muslims in India as a percentage, let's take an example. Suppose there is a state where the Muslim population goes up as a percentage, like in northeastern part of India, Assam, right, where the Muslim population has dramatically gone up percentagely, as is being claimed. Does that make the demography of Assam unstable? Does that make the society of Assam unstable? And if the Muslim population in India goes up, does that make the demography or the societal balance in India unstable? On what basis is one making that argument? Deshratan Nigam, would you elaborate? Because you see, what Bhagwat did was, he gave the reference of 3 countries, East Timor, South Sudan and Kosovo. And he said there was population imbalance in certain territories of Indonesia, Sudan and Serbia. And he said because of this population imbalance, the countries broke up. He's making a very straightforward point. Is he trying to say that if parts of India become Muslim dominated, the country will break up? Is that what he's trying to say? And why is he giving that angle to what should be a straightforward debate about population control? Why bring in a religious angle to a debate on population control? My question is, why bring in a religious angle to a debate on population control? Mr. Nigam.
Yes, Arnab, in fact, if you look at the data of 2011 census and look at the 0 to 9-year age group and 0 to 19-year age group, there is a gap of 7 to 8% in population of Hindus and Muslims, and in favor of Muslims. They are ahead 7 to 8%. And that is 2011 census. It could have gone up also in the new census that could come. And there is an overall explosion of population. Yes, Dr. Bhagwat ji brought in the demographic imbalance and the overall explosion of the population, which reduces the per capita availability of resources, whatever it may be, whether it is food or natural resources, water, land, whatever is available. Fertile land is getting, diminished by the day because the real estate is consuming the fertile land because you require housing. Now this, we have gone through this demographic imbalance, which resulted in
what do you mean by demographic imbalance? I just want to know your understanding of the word demographic imbalance.
Yes, especially in the context of the partition. When the partition took place, the Muslims, only 2% Muslims went to Pakistan and the rest who voted for Pakistan stayed back. The initial, and that's a data, I am not creating that data, so let's not smile over it. These are raw data available, and people say that they stayed back by choice. No, they didn't go back, and when they started going back, the Nehru-Liaquat Pact happened. That created a kind of a demographic imbalance.
But just if I may interrupt you, sir, sorry. My question to you, Deshratan Nigam, and you're a very erudite person, and now I go to Fuad, because the controversial issue here, Fuad, the elephant in the room as it were, is a subject that we must openly address. I am all for population control. I believe population control must be applied to everyone, every religion, community, part of the country, etc. But when we mix up population control, population control cannot be directed at a community. You agree with me, Deshratan Nigam? Population control, what you're trying to suggest is that population control must principally or first be applied on one community, which in your view has contributed more to the population in recent years than the majority community. That's a dangerous argument, Deshratan Nigam. And I don't know why we need to mix up the debate on population control. Is it the responsibility of the Muslim community to contribute more to population control than the Hindu community?
No,
is that what you're trying to say?
No, not at all.
Then why?
I am saying, what I am saying is that the population control, a comprehensive population policy, has to be applied uniformly from the stage and date when it is implemented.
Okay.
On everybody, and nobody should be given exemption to it. But this is what Dr. Bhagwat clearly pointed out. Now, this imbalances is created. We have a natural balance in this country.
What is
natural
that?
Balance and
what
cultural
is that?
way of.
What is that? Are you saying no?
I'm coming.
Are you saying there should be a natural balance? As in, do you have a percentage in mind that Hindus should be 82% or 83%, or Muslims should be so and so percentage? Is it conceivable to do something like that?
That's a debatable point. What should be the percentage?
But isn't that what you're hinting at? Isn't that what you're hinting at when you talk about balance?
No, that has to come after research. But the principal point out here is that once a country has suffered partition because of the population imbalance, and
what is population imbalance? Please be direct with me. Are you saying a certain religion must continue to have a certain percentage? Another religion, but is it possible to keep caps on the percentage of a percentage of a community or a religion in the population?
See, let us say, Arnab, let us say at the time of partition there were 9% Muslims.
Yes.
And two nations were created on the basis of religion. I believe that 9% should be the happy balance at the time. 9%. That is my personal opinion. 9% of Muslim population.
But how can you do that? Are you saying Muslims should be under 10%? It's not possible to do that.
That was the balance, that was the ratio during the time of partition, when the two nations were created.
Royden Roach is also, one minute, Royden, just wait. Now we are coming, you see, now this is the point. This is the point at which I want Fuad to come in. I want the debate to open up. There is a need for a population policy, but along with the debate on a population policy, a few other dimensions have been brought in now. Fuad, this phrase demographic balance we need to sort of dissect it and analyze it a little bit. You've heard the other side. Without asking you any questions, your response, please.
Well, first of all, I'd like to take up what Mohan Bhagwat said today. Two interesting sentences. In terms of parivar, he says, "Bahut niche aane se samasya hai." Second sentence, I quote him, "परिवार की संख्या भी चाहिए." So in his speech, if you see, he oscillates from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum. At one end, he is proud that India has reduced the benchmark from 2.1 to 2, and he believes that India should be proud because the world community had not expected it of India. And then he goes on to say, अगर परिवार की संख्या छोटी हो जाएगी तो समस्या होगी और परिवार में संख्या चाहिए. So this oscillation, what exactly Mohan Bhagwat has in terms of representing the Sangh's point of view in terms of population policy is very, very what you call befuddled and confounding as far as I am concerned. So I think so the RSS, it behoves the RSS, they are running the nation at the moment to actually categorically tell the people of India that they want chota parivar or they want parivar mein sankhya. That is the confusion that Mohan Bhagwat has led. And it's a very well thought of confusion and distraction because there is a very strong ideological point that Mohan Bhagwat has made today in this speech. If you go to the speech that runs up to the population what you call issue, he says that jobs are no more the government's responsibility. And I think so that is the core ideological issue that the RSS has already openly told the people of India, that it does not believe that the government of India or any government is actually responsible to the unemployed youth in India. He says that Samaj ko काम करनी चाहिए. Now, who is this Samaj, quote unquote, who is going to give employment to the thousands of people who are unemployed? He says that they have worked, the RSS over COVID period has created humongous number of jobs, and he's proud for that. He gives a figure that 275 centers are working in India, but he doesn't have the figure. He's candid enough to tell the nation that he is very proud that the RSS has created numerous jobs in India during the COVID period, but he doesn't have the figures with him. And then he moves
focus on the population issue.
That the government
focus
of
on the
India
population
cannot give
issue.
Jobs.
Focus on the population issue.
That's the build-up. That's the build-up.
No, that's the core.
Build-up.
No, that's the core.
He comes into the population.
It's not the build-up. It's everything.
So I would like. No, I'm saying that that's the tactical distraction, because the RSS has ideologically today clarified
I tell you,
that its Hindu identity politics is now going to be
Fuad, may I respond to you?
With the
Fuad, may I come in for a minute? Thank you.
Absolutely.
Just a minute. No, I have a slightly different take on your interpretation there. So I want to come in with my take on that, if I may. If I may. Fuad, allow me just a moment's intervention, please. Thank you. Moment's intervention.
The RSS.
Yeah.
What is Mohan Bhagwat's position on population?
Okay. Can I just?
Does he want Chota Parivar or does he want Bada Parivar?
Okay. I took your point. Now my response to you is. My response to you is just one point. I'll get Asif to respond to the larger issues, but I have a slight variance from what you said on the critical point. You see, typical economic conservatism, right? What you describe as capitalism, which you are ideologically opposed to, does believe that it is the job of the private sector to create jobs. That is what the right wing around the entire world stands for. It is economic conservatism, which the RSS also aligns itself to. So I don't think there's anything to be surprised. Question being, Geeta, the question becomes deeper today. The question becomes deeper today.
He doesn't use the word private sector.
He said not the government's response, but let's not get into a private sector, public sector discussion. Discussion is on population control. I asked the other side.
I don't have any.
I asked the other side today. I asked Geeta. I allow Fuad allow Geeta to come in. Asif, a moment. Geeta.
And you're taking it to a different narrative.
Geeta. Now Fuad, let Geeta come.
Fuad is the same gang, the so-called same gang.
Arnab, I want to put forth 2-3 points over here. You see, it is the population has been a matter of concern for all the governments ever since India became independent. In the first 5-year plan itself, 65 lakhs were allotted regarding how population control is possible, and there were nearly 165 clinics across the country which were opened. So this is not something, this concern which has suddenly erupted. This has been an issue for the governments from year to year.
What? Let her.
Please, Pawar ji, सुन लीजिए, आपको भी थोड़ी जानकारी मिल जाएगी. Now the point is that while various governments have raised their concern about it, in fact there was an expert committee which was constituted in 1989 by the government to look into the issue of population explosion. And after that, in between 1992-96, there was 42 crores were allotted to look into and research that.
I have quoted Mohan Bhagwat for you. I want your opinion. Do you not have a response? Can't you defend Mohan Bhagwat? Are you so embarrassed that you cannot defend what
you should let her speak? Fuad, please let her speak. She was quiet when you intervened. Please don't heckle her. Thank you. Fuad, I'm requesting you. Thank you.
She's beating around the bush.
No, but let her speak. She may equally say the same to you.
Allow me to speak.
Yeah, go on.
Please.
Continue, Geeta. Continue, please.
Speak on Mohan Bhagwat's speech. What he said
time
today.
and again, the governments have been raising this issue. We know there was the national population policy which came in 2000, and it is this policy which gave the fertility rate of 2.1 for a sustainable population. But now the concern is the basic counter argument that is being given is that this fertility rate has been achieved. But if you look at the National Family Health Survey, there are large number of pockets within the country where this TFR does not sustain. It is much higher. There are large number of states which are already designated in which this fertility rate has not been achieved. And if you also look at in terms of community-wise, that women, what fertility they have. The lowest fertility is seen in the Buddhist woman, and the highest fertility rate has been seen in the Muslim woman, which is larger than 2.1. It is there in the National Family Health Survey. You can see that. So the point here is that we need to take this into account, that wherever there
so is it a one Geeta, may I ask you, Geeta, I'll be very direct.
Yeah.
From what you are saying, don't beat around the bush. What you are saying, what Deshrat and Nigam saying, your argument seems to be Muslim population needs to be controlled. More than population needs to be controlled. What do you think, Vandana? Is the basic argument coming down to Muslim population needs to be controlled? Are we saying Muslim population needs to be controlled, or are we saying population needs to be controlled? We must be honest and clear about what we are saying. Vandana, I'd like you to step in. Vandana is the SP spokesperson. She leans towards the SP. Vandana, yes. Vandana, go on.
We need to stress upon making them aware about it.
Yeah, okay. Vandana, please come in. Your audio is not very clear, but yeah.
Arnab ji.
Yeah, go on. Better.
This population is just one aspect of the factor that affects the national economy. Okay? There are other factors. I'd like to hear from the government. What are we doing about the policy framework pertaining to the national economy? That is more important.
Oh, how can you decide? I want Jerome to come in. No, I want Jerome to come in. No. Vandana.
I don't agree that population is the factor why country is not doing well. We are having problems.
Nobody said.
There is a problem.
Nobody said, first of all. Yeah, but nobody said, Vandana, first of all, nobody said, I repeat, Waris is on, nobody said that population, rise in population or an unmanageable population is the only reason why we are facing trouble. I think, Vandana, if I may, Asif, 1 minute. I want to get Jerome in and then I'll open this up. I'll open it up after that. Asif, Waris, be patient for 30 seconds. What I'm trying to say is, and I think what Mohan Bhagwat was hinting at, you see, is the question of societal and cultural problems that emerge. And for example, Jerome, he talked about forced conversion. He spoke about infiltration. Now, I am from Assam, and there was a Brahma committee which had been formed for the protection of the land rights of the indigenous people of Assam in 2017. Assamese people, their land rights are being taken away. They are not being allowed to speak Assamese. That there are people who say that we will not identify with Assamese culture. Everyone knows it. Now, fact is, in that Brahma committee report, it was said that the indigenous people of Assam, the Ahomias, the Assamese people are under threat due to continuous Bangladeshi infiltration. Is it right or wrong? Can anyone say it's not true? Now everyone's quiet.
Arnab.
Is Bangladeshi infiltrators not taking over Assam? Jerome is on the debate. Jerome and Waris will take the debate forward. Jerome.
No. First of all, thank you, Arnab. I waited for almost half an hour, so I expect my 3 minutes on the debate. First of all, I don't understand why are we making this such an issue, because Mohan Bhagwat ji also is one of the citizens of this country. So it is responsibility of every citizen of this country to take cognizance of issues like the population.
Yeah.
Now the population is not today's story. It has been part of the 5-year plan. Ever since even the Congress party was there, the 5-year plan, the population was under the scanner. Why are we forgetting Sanjay Gandhi, what he did? Why did he do it for his own whims and fancy? No, right. So there is definitely the population which is going beyond control. Now, when I go back to what Mohan Bhagwat said, he didn't see what he said was population as a community, everybody needs to fall in place. He didn't, when you look at it, now it is everybody's responsibility to ensure that they fall in line. It is not, as a citizen, even I am telling the population needs to be controlled. Now it is for those particular communities, if they have a problem, to go and think about it, right? I don't take it up. Christians don't take it up personally, right? So it is important to understand that this is a holistic approach. Everybody needs to give it a thought. It is not only because the RSS is speaking that it's become an issue today. Second thing is, as the lady just spoke a few minutes back, she's saying that population is just one of the reasons. No, ma'am, I'm sorry. Population is not one of the reasons. It's the reason. Who is a consumer? Who is a seller? How is the per capita income calculated? It's on the head. It's per head. And as far as I just wanted to add one more thing before you take me off. I just want to add one more thing. No, please, ma'am, I didn't interrupt you when you spoke. I request you to please give me my time. Please, I've been decent enough to be quiet. I've been decent enough. Please don't interrupt me. Please don't interrupt me. Okay? So it is
about me, I have to correct you.
I have not been uncouth. Please do not make me. Please do not. I request you. I've been decent enough. Right? So I request each one of you to understand that this is not just what do you call that? A community-based acquisition. If communities feel that if there is a particular rise in a particular community, then that needs to be taken into cognizance. For example, the partition didn't happen just like that. When Mohan Bhagwatji spoke about certain nations, he spoke about certain nations, and there are reasons why those nations went aside. For example, in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, there is a pastor who said that I want India to be separated based on religion, on Christianity. Give me another part of land. I will give you the name. His name is Pastor Upendra. He's a deputy director, Bible University Institute. He demanded a separate state. So please understand, when we speak about population control, it is for everybody, every citizen of this nation.
Yes, Roydon, and there's nothing wrong. I mean, Mohan Bhagwat has called for equal application of the population control policy. And if you're going to be logical about it, see, 1 minute. If the Hindu population were to be rising proportionately higher to the national average, you would say that population control is good for all, but the rate of increase of the Hindu population should proportionately be, the rate of fall or control of the growth of the Hindu population should proportionately be faster or greater, right? That's what they're saying. That's what Asif is saying. That's what they're not saying. It's pro or anti-Muslim, pro or anti-Hindu. It's unfortunately, Asif, people like Waris Pathan who bring that angle.
See, Arnab.
Waris Pathan is, okay, Roydon, you want to make your point? Go on, Roydon, first. Roydon first. Roydon hasn't spoken. Roydon.
I haven't spoken to.
I'll come to you, Asif, after that. Roydon.
I think I need my space now. I waited for more than 35 minutes. I need my space, please. Okay, Arnab, I have 3 points to make. First thing, what Mr. Mohan Bhagwat said of the population control, it's very much true. We need a population control. Okay, that is always needed. The second aspect, what we have to understand is, during recession, the main aspect what we went through during recession, our asset was a population. Our population played a vital role during the...
Lost the line. Waris is already on.
Hello, Arnab.
Go on. You see,
that's what I'm saying. First, you have to have a policy for demographic dividends.
Come on, don't be repetitive now. Don't be repetitive. You see, there are 25 million babies born in India every year. We can't provide them clean water, quality housing, jobs, health services.
Kindly see the data from 1991 to 2015. The population of the Muslims have considerably gone down. The TFR rate has gone down. That is why we say replacement has already taken place. So why you want to introduce this population control now?
Okay, Roydon is back, I'm told. Roydon is back. Let's move fast. Roydon replaces Waris.
I don't want to speak on that. Mohan Bhagwat does not have...
Roydon replaces Waris, completes his point. Roydon, we lost you in between.
Mr. Waris, please hold on, please. Please hold on, sir. Mr. Waris, please hold on. Well, Arnab, coming back to the subject, let me tell you, the population was an asset. We need to have a control. But what is the control? It should not be on the basis of any community. I don't think we need to speak on community basis. We need to see that the population drastically comes down. Doesn't matter of which community we are. And I don't see what's the reason why is a threat to the Hindu community when they find somebody else going up. And the biggest aspect is to control your population. First, you have to education is most important. You have to educate your people on population.
No. Come on with the basic point. Is the Asif. You're not Asif. You're avoiding it. Okay, we got Jerome and Asif on one side. We got Royden and Waris on the other. We're taking the debate forward. Asif.
Can I get a little?
Yes, Asif. I don't see this. Asif, tell me, Asif, as a Muslim citizen of this country, are you? What do you have to say about this over defensiveness of certain Muslim leaders towards this subject?
Arnab, I as an Indian Muslim feel very concerned towards my community. Where does my community go 50 years from now? Now, as far as Mohan Bhagwat is concerned, he has generally said that he has not handpicked or named. I'm not the spokesperson of RSS, I'm a spokesperson of BJP. So I represent my party, and I don't think still that there were, he aimed at, but Fawad, please don't intervene. I did not intervene.
Let me
you are talking. Have some sense of timing. Okay? Please shut his fader off.
I was intervening.
Tell him to shut his fader off. So what I'm trying to say is
Asif,
that as an Indian Muslim, I have a right.
I think you can
and this policy is not for minorities or for Muslims. In larger interests, I mean, it is important to have a comprehensive population policy. And Mohan Bhagwat has spoken both sides. We are just giving the dark side of what he has said. We are just trying to put him in poor and bad light, which is not the case. And he has not pinpointed it to minority. When it comes, a rule is a rule, and it applies for all religions, be it Muslims, Hindus or anybody. But I as a Muslim will speak for my community also. And I feel in larger interest of education, employment, healthcare, we should have a comprehensive policy, a comprehensive population policy, which is in larger interest important to avoid a demographic imbalance.
And in any case, I say every country has intervened on these issues. USA has a domestic family planning program.
हमारी जायदाद कितनी बढ़ रही है? Why should the minorities? अक़लियत को आप अगर देखो तो
आप फवाद अलीम को बोलिए ना, वारिस पठान और फवाद अलीम को बोलिए.
एजुकेशन सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है.
You asked the question directly to फवाद अलीम. फवाद अलीम seems to indicate this is selective targeting of the Muslim community.
क्या किया है? पिछले
Asif and Fawad are on the debate, ladies and gentlemen. Asif and Fawad, direct challenge 942. Asif is throwing a challenge to Fawad. I can see 50-50 on the screen, viewers.
आपने लिप सर्विस करके अक़लियत को गुमराह किया है कि आपने मुसलमानों को जो है ये बताया कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी आपके लिए गलत है. आपने भारतीय जनता पार्टी गलत है सिर्फ ये बताया है. मुसलमानों को गुमराह किया है अपने वोटों की राजनीति के लिए. ध्यान रखिए. आज का जो मुसलमान है ना, वो पढ़ा लिखा मुसलमान है. आज का मुसलमान वो जाहिल नहीं रह गया है. और आज के लिए आपने क्या प्रोवाइड किया? आपने नौकरियां दी मुसलमानों को. आपने क्या तालीम दिया मुसलमानों को? आपने क्या दिया मुसलमानों को? सिर्फ अपनी वोट बैंक.
Asif in the middle and Waris and Fawad on both sides. Asif is on a roll right now, ladies and gentlemen, questioning the Muslim leaders on the program. He says they've been opportunistic and not realistic to the situation on the ground. Asif,
आपने सिर्फ कौम का इस्तेमाल किया है अपने वोटों के लिए. लिप सर्विस किया है. आप बढ़ाइए, अपनी संख्या बढ़ाइए, पॉपुलेशन बढ़ाइए. अरे उनका मुस्तकबिल क्या है? उनका मुस्तकबिल कौन देखेगा? फवाद, आप जाओगे देखने के लिए? अक़लियत और मुसलमानों का मुस्तकबिल कौन देखेगा?
ये तो मोहन भागवत जी का मशवरा है.
Asif,
होनी चाहिए परिवार.
Asif Bamla in the center is the BJP spokesperson tonight.
आपने कौम को वर्गलाया है, उनको मिसयूज किया है, कौम को गलत दिशा में ले गए हो सिर्फ अपने वोटों के चक्कर में, सिर्फ अपने वोटों की राजनीति में आपने कौम को वर्गलाया है. आप हमेशा जो है RSS की दहशत दिखाकर मुसलमानों के वोट ऐंठते हो और प्रतिबंध करते जाओ. पैदा करो जितने चाहिए. अरे पैदा करो. कौन ध्यान रखेगा? कौन पढ़ाई लिखाई देगा? कौन योजनाएं देगा? आपने क्या किया? भारतीय जनता पार्टी तो आज सरकार में है ना. 50
के साथ इत्तेफाक कर साल से आप मोहन भागवत साहब कह रहे हैं
सिर्फ लिप सर्विस करके
परिवारों की
लिप सर्विस करके कौम को गुमराह किया, आपने नौजवानों को गुमराह किया, लेकिन आज मुसलमान अकलमंद हो गया।
Okay, I want to ask you a question. Thank you. Can I intervene? Can I intervene? 1 minute. Since there's an attempt to villainize Mr. Mohan Bhagwat, I have to intervene for a moment. And my question goes right now. Viewers, a very, very spirited and aggressive Asif Bamla, the BJP spokesperson, coming on my program after a long time, is giving everyone, including Waris Pathan, a run for their money.
उनको उनकी तालीम में उनकी परवाह नहीं है, बच्चों की उन्हें नौकरियां मिल रही नहीं, उसकी परवाह है नहीं तुम्हें। हाँ, लेकिन बच्चे पैदा करिए। अरे
Waris said
क्या कहने चाह रहे हो?
No, Waris versus Asif. Waris versus Asif.
जाति मफाद के लिए आप भाई,
अरे किसने गुमराह किया?
माजरत चाहूँ
अरे किसने गुमराह किया?
आपने कौम को गुमराह किया है सिर्फ अपने मफाद के लिए और अपने वोट बैंक के लिए।
कैसा?
आज
कैसा गुमराह किया?
हालात है ना,
बीजेपी ने क्या किया हिजाब के लिए? बीजेपी ने क्या किया मदरसा के लिए?
कितने बच्चे?
बीजेपी ने क्या किया मुसलमानों के लिए? बीजेपी ने सिर्फ नफरत फैलाया, हेट्रेड। बीजेपी ने क्या किया मुसलमानों के लिए?
आसिफ लाउडर।
अरे तो हमारे, अरे मोदी के कितने भाई बहने जरा गिनाओ, मोदी के कितने भाई
आसिफ
के कितने भाई बहने गिनाओ,
पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं ना,
आसिफ बच्चे गिनाओ।
हम क्या 10-10 औलादे पैदा कर रहे हैं?
बहुत लाउडर। आसिफ लाउडर।
मुसलमान
चिंता फिक्र नहीं करे, हम नौकरियों की फिक्र नहीं करे।
मुसलमान
ये जो स्टेटमेंट है हर कौम को लागू है, चाहे वो हिंदू हो या मुसलमान हो। आप भी मुसलमानों के लिए, आप लोग मुसलमानों को अलग करते हो, आप लोग सेग्रीगेट करते हो, आप फर्क पैदा करते हो। इससे
ये नहीं होता,
आप लोग फर्क पैदा करते हो, आप फर्क पैदा करते हो, आप फर्क पैदा करते हो और मजबूर करते हो गरीबों को, जाइए पैदा करिए, जाइए। आप नौकरियां दीजिए ना,
तो आप
उन्हें हेल्थ केयर दे रहे हैं, आप एक सिस्टम दे रहे हैं।
अरे कर रहा था ब्रिटिश,
ये जाहिलात अब नहीं चलेगी, ये नया भारत है, ये जाहिलात नहीं चलेगी वारिस भाई, ये नया भारत है, ये छोड़ेगा नहीं, ये नया भारत है, ये नया भारत है। मुसलमान एक हाथ में कुरान होगा, एक हाथ में कंप्यूटर होगा। आप चाहते हो कि मुसलमान जाहिल बने, आप चाहते हो कि मुसलमान जाहिल रहे, लेकिन आज नहीं। आज का जो मुसलमान है ना, एक हाथ में कंप्यूटर होगा, एक हाथ में कुरान होगा। आप चाहते हो कि कौम, आप चाहते हो कि कौम गुर्बत में रहे, आप चाहते हो कि कौम गुर्बत में रहे, आप चाहते हो कि जाहिलात वाबस्ता रहे, लेकिन ऐसा होगा नहीं। आप कौम समझ चुकी है कि ये
Ladies and gentlemen, Asif Bamla is being so aggressive tonight that even Waris Pathan has had to take a back seat. A point I want to raise right now. This is incredible. I think the first time after a long time, Waris Pathan has been properly silenced on the program.
They have used and they've created.
For that alone, I say well done. For that alone, I say well done, Asif. You're the first person to silence him tonight after a long time.
They've curated optics, and that's what they've done. And they've misused the community. And they've done no welfare for the bloody community. They've done no
RSS ने क्या किया? चलो बताओ मुझे, कोई एक काम बताओ जो आरएसएस ने किया हो देश की आजादी में। मुझे कोई एक काम बताओ जो आरएसएस ने देश की आजादी में।
जाइए पैदा करिए। अरे आप उनका मुस्तकबिल देखोगे, आप उनका मुस्तकबिल देखोगे, आप मुस्तकबिल देखोगे उनका, आप उनकी तालीम का ख्याल रखोगे, आप उनके हेल्थ केयर का ख्याल रखोगे, आप उन्हें नौकरियां दोगे।
मुसलमान भी नेता बने, हम तो चाहते कि
आप पैदा करने की बात करते हो, आप पैदा करने की बात करते हो। I fully support a comprehensive population.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is very interesting battle. All I'd say is, on the one side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, is 1 minute. On the one side of the screen is the dynamo from Bandra, Asif Bamla, absolutely convincingly beating the fighter from Baikala. The fighter from Baikala is losing to the dynamo from Bandra. This is an interesting fight. I'm going forward right now. Thank you very much. And the question tonight is this. Thank you. You see, the point being a serious point. I want Deshratan Nigam to come into the debate with Fuad. आप हार चुके हैं आज, आप अपने जख्मों पे नमक मत छिड़किए. You have lost the debate. Waris, I welcome Fuad and Deshratan Nigam into next part of the debate. Fuad, 1 minute. Fuad and Deshratan Nigam. First, Deshratan Nigam, because I know if I give Fuad the first turn, his answer will never stop. So I'll go to Deshratan Nigam, get a response from Fuad. The RSS chief gave the example of East Timor today. East Timor in 1975 had a percentage of about 35 to 40% Catholic. By 1990s, early 1990s, in 17-18 years, the population became 90% Catholic, which led to a referendum, eventually separating it from Indonesia. The RSS chief is trying to suggest, therefore, is that if one religion which was a minority becomes a majority, then it can lead to a separatist movement. Any doubt in this? That's what he's saying, right?
Yes, yes.
So he's saying that the Hindu majority must remain a substantial majority and the Muslim minority must remain a clear minority. He's saying, therefore, that if that changes, what happened in East Timor will happen in India. What happened to Indonesia and East Timor will happen in India. Is that right, Deshratan Nigam?
Arnab, it already happened in 1947. It's not new for us. Let me also quote a research carried out by Pierre Rostand and Alexandra Rostand in Europe, where they said as the Muslim population is increasing out there, it is leading to large increase in rate of crimes, ghettoization, and killing of the cultural diversity and the natural way of life of that region, in particular those particular districts. It has happened in England, it is happening in Denmark, it is happening in Sweden. Therefore, the issue arises and it arises from the natural, ideology of certain religions where they say their way is the only way and is the superior way to others. And therefore, other religions have to be eliminated and they have to be converted forcefully or otherwise. So that is the basic ethos which is there, which is not there among the Hindus.
So I want a response from Fuad right now. Fuad, there are 3 examples, okay? Can you give me a counter to this? I mentioned East Timor. Let me take the other example he gave is of Kosovo. And you know what happened in Kosovo? The ethnic Serbians cherished that as the heart of the Orthodox Christian missionaries. Demographic changes predominantly, right, leads to separation from its mother country, right? Are the 2 examples, very specific question to you, of the secession of Kosovo from Serbia and the separation of East Timor from Indonesia relevant or not?
Well, the dissolution of the communist powers over the world and the secular and leftist forces have opened the what you call field for religious identity politics to play itself out, and we've seen that the religious identity politics has played themselves out globally, and it's also playing itself out in India through Mohan Bhagwat. So let's not be slightly confounded with what's happening in India. But I thank you, Arnab, that my pointed question whether the RSS wants a small family or a large family as per Mohan Bhagwat today was something that nobody commented on.
I asked you a question on the relevance of East Timor and Serbia.
Yes, because nobody answered my question. Now,
it is a family-specific question, Mr. Fawad.
Serbia was a communist country,
those who have larger family have to control, those who have single families have to balance it out.
That religion did not have any role in state.
You only have to apply your mind and you can find the answer. You can find the answer.
And ladies and gentlemen, when I come back on the other side of a strong debate, and across the entire world right now, the anti-hijab movement is gaining tremendous momentum. We saw this in Mumbai. We're seeing it in Iran. We're seeing it with lawmakers across the entire world. Then why is the woke brigade, why is the unsure pseudo woke brigade taking a pro-hijab position on the other side?
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 10th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाइड क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Enroll in any of REVA's wide range of courses designed to take on an evolving education and an expanding future. REVA University.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, आग से बचाए।
2021, the Indian economy was all geared up. We are headed for greatness as a nation. We will be a superpower. If there's something that I want to see in our lifetime, it is to have our best living years as a citizen of a superpower. Now there's a new goal, Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Amit Shinde versus Uddhav camp on the Saira rally. Maharashtra's Chief Minister Eknath Shinde will be holding a rally at the MMRDA ground while Uddhav Thackeray organizes the Saira event at Shivaji Park. The Telangana Rashtriya Samiti is likely to be renamed the Bharat Rashtriya Samiti as Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao preps for a national foray.
The world supermarket. The world is ours for the taking. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Rescue operations in Uttarkashi will resume today as massive avalanche hit the Dokriani Bamak Glacier. Meanwhile, a 5-member team of the SDRF and 3 instructors were dropped by helicopter at the glacier.
2021, the Indian economy was all geared up. We are headed for greatness as a nation. We will be a superpower. If there's something that I want to see in our lifetime, it is to have our best living years as a citizen of a superpower. Now there's a new goal, Mission Superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
In a major announcement at a public rally in Baramulla, Union Home Minister Amit Shah said that as soon as the work of compiling the voters list is completed, elections will be held in Jammu and Kashmir with full transparency.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 10th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, आग से बचाए।
Enroll in any of REVA's wide range of courses designed to take on an evolving education and an expanding future. REVA University.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, आग से बचाए।